and a national government-aided agricultural mechanization plan and irrigation program to enhance agricultural output. We've also tasked the economic team to prepare legislative and administrative interventions to provide for a mechanism for guaranteed minimum returns for our farmers in coffee, tea, sugarcane, maize, coconut milk, cotton, wheat, rice, and cashew nut, among other industries. We have also tasked our economic team to also work on a rapid program on how we will deal with stalled projects, ongoing projects, and also to develop a metrics for new projects in various parts of our country. We have also asked and tasked our economic team to work out a framework for equitable resource allocation on a win-win arrangement that will ensure that we capture the allocation of resources based on population, amongst other considerations, and address the current situation. And in that formula, we have done it before. It will be a win-win formula where no county will lose its budgetary allocation, because we believe that nobody should lose for another to gain. We can always structure a win-win arrangement. And we will be able to do this, and let me repeat it again, we will be able to implement this equitable resource allocation without necessarily spending 20, 30 billion shillings to change the constitution. We have innovative and creative ways of ensuring that this can be done within the existing parameters of the law. In any case, the one man, one shilling proposal was actually a hustler nation proposal, and it is going to be dovetailed in our bottom-up economic program that will ensure that we build our economy starting with a majority who are disadvantaged. We have also agreed on the restructuring of our tax system, and we expect our economic team to come up with proposals for interrogation by our executive teams so that we can work on administrative and legislative measures to achieve two fundamental objectives: accelerate effective, efficient, and taxpayer-friendly collection of taxes to at least double our revenue collection while eliminating tax waivers for politically correct enterprises. We are very clear that the same way between 2002 and 2012, we were able to increase our tax revenues fivefold. It is possible for us, working smart in a friendly environment, we can double our taxes and ensure that we have the resources to retire our debt and to fund our development. The team will also provide a detailed framework on the current status of transport operations, including the SGR, and recommend measures that will reinstate economic activity in the port of Mombasa, Lamu, and auxiliary facilities for the purposes of economic revival of the coast region that has been hurt substantially by the interventions that were carried out without public participation of the people that are now affected by these operations. This team will also work on the National Land Compensation Fund to facilitate the acquisition of land from absentee landlords and other underutilized but available lands to facilitate the settlement of landless Kenyans in the coast and other parts of our country where the problem persists. And to facilitate and fast-track this process, parties that have recently joined the Kenya Kwanza Alliance have recommended the following people to work with our existing economic team, as I have said, led by Professor David Ndii. The Democratic Party have suggested the name of Justus Kariuki, who will join that team. The Service Party, under my brother Mwangi Kunjuri, has suggested Judy Muhia to join that team. Maendeleo Chap Party have suggested Morris Mudhama to join that team. Tujibebe wa Kenya Party has suggested Ruth Muthoni Mwadhi to join that team. And Pamoja African Alliance have suggested Edward Mwashinga to join the team. And Chama Chakazi have suggested Dr. Joyce Nyamwea to join our economic team. I am very proud that these men and women will bring a lot of value to our already existing economic team as we centralize the place of the economy in our approach to this election and to the transformation of our nation. We also spent many hours discussing how we are going to win this election in round one. We have agreed on the coordination of the Kenya campaign activities around the country, and we've also agreed on modalities of how our candidate will engage in campaign for our candidates without necessarily being bogged down with unhealthy competition. As Kenya Kwanza, we are a coalition of Democrats, we are a coalition of the willing, and we are a coalition of the free. All parties will be allowed to field their candidates. We will, however, as Kenya Kwanza, empower our candidates in every ward, in every constituency, and in every county with scientific information on the performance of each and every candidate. And we will also provide a framework to encourage local agreements amongst the different parties in different electoral areas to negotiate and agree on the best approach to our alliance winning a majority of seats in every level. We will also provide a template on how our candidates will coordinate in every county and in every constituency. And towards this end, we have agreed on the following to provide leadership of our teams in the various regions. Governor Salim Vuria, Governor Amason Kingi, former Governor Issa Timami, and Mama Lydia Haika to take charge of our coast region activities and provide leadership as they involve all the candidates and all the players from all the parties in making sure that our campaign activities are seamless, they are focused, and they are fruitful. We have also agreed that Senator Johnston Muthama, Governor Alfred Mutua, Penina Malonza, Adelina Mwau, and Jonathan Mweke will take charge of our southeastern region activities again to consolidate our position and to provide overall leadership and ensure that our candidates work with synergy. We've also agreed that our Speaker, Justin Muturi, Mithika Linturi, Beatrice Nkatha, will also involve other leaders in the Mount Kenya East region in providing the necessary leadership in that region. Honorable Alice Wahome, Governor Waiguru, Mwangi Kiunjuri, the party leader of TSP, Governor William Kabogo, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Governor Mutahi Kahiga, together with Patrick Mariro and Faith Ketau, will provide the overall leadership as they work with all the candidates and all our parties in the Central Kenya region. And in Rift Valley, our activities will be coordinated by Susan Kihika, Charles Keter, our former CS, Governor Josephat Narok, Governor Moses Lenonkulal, Peris Tobiko, and Governor Tunai, together with Senator Murkomen and Margaret Wanjala and Immaculate Shamala, will do the same in our Rift Valley region. In Nyanza, we will have Governor Okoth Obado, Charles Nyachai, Eliud Owalo, Silvanus Osoro, and Vincent Kemosi to provide leadership in that region. And in Western region, Speaker Kenneth Lusaka, Beatrice Adagala, Benjamin Washali, Ababu Namwamba, and Emmanuel Osore will also provide overall political leadership, working with all the political parties in the Kenya Kwanza fraternity in Western Kenya region. And in Northeastern, Honorable Aden Duale and Ahmed Kolosh, amongst other leaders from Mandera, will also participate in providing overall leadership in that region. And finally, in the Upper Eastern region, Colonel Rasso, Dido Ali, Hassan Tene, and Mama Wario will provide leadership in that region. Again, this is overall leadership, but all political parties, all candidates will form part of the campaign structure as we go towards this election. And finally, we had a candid, extensive, robust discussion on the subject of my running mate, who will be the running mate of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. You are aware that this process is underway, and there is a requirement by the IEBC that names of running mates be submitted by Monday. Many highly qualified Kenyans were considered in this engagement, and after lengthy, exhaustive consultations and deliberations, and having reflected on the task ahead for the Kenya Kwanza family, that engagement was not only a UDA engagement, it was also a Kenya Kwanza engagement. That is why all the political leaders from our coalition are here. I want to thank the many Kenyans, the good leaders who've shown us goodwill. They've given us advice. They've sent us messages. They've sent us WhatsApp messages. They have called us on phone. Many, I know, have prayed about this matter. And many leaders here have made their input. I want to single out the great men and women who were considered in the exercise that has gone on around the running mate issue. And I want to single out very knowledgeable, astute Samson Ndindi Nyoro, who is right here, who the people of Kenya have a lot of liking for because he's forthright, he's intelligent, and he's passionate about the leadership of our country. I want to tell my young brother Ndindi Nyoro, you have a future ahead of you, and we will work with you. I also want to thank my dear sister, Alice Muthoni Wahome, who was a formidable candidate. Thank you very much, my dear. And who made it to the shortlist, just like Ndindi Nyoro. I want to say that Alice Wahome is a self-made woman. She has built her stature. She's a 2-term member of parliament. She has a track record in the NGO fraternity. And I want to say that she's among the formidable women leaders we have in Kenya Kwanza. Again, she made it to the shortlist. Congratulations, madam. The future is wide open. I also want to single out my good brother, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Bidan Muturi, who many Kenyans pushed his candidature to the table because of his experience, his stature, and the fact that he has ably guided our National Assembly for now 10 years. And he brings a lot of valuable support, experience, and insights into our team. Again, my brother Justin Muturi, asante sana. Let me also appreciate my sister, the one and only, Mombi Waiguru Anna, who missed it by a whisker, I must say. And she came with exceptional credentials as a woman leader, with a track record and with experience in the economic sphere. The current governor of Kirinyaga, who also made it to the shortlist. Again, Governor Anne Waiguru, I want to tell you from where I sit, the future belongs to you. It's wide open. Of course, I won't, before I come to our candidate, I want to very sincerely thank my lawyer, my friend, Professor Abraham Githure Kindiki, who came very far and became the runner-up in this contest. Again, a forthright Kenyan, a Kenyan of great standing, a lawyer par excellence, our former Deputy Speaker of the Senate, and the man who defeated that fellow called Ocampo, the current senator of the Tharaka-Nithi County, who is not here with us now, but who brought a lot of experience, a lot of passion, and a lot of commitment to this contest. And finally, in the end, the consensus pointed out to an individual who scored excellent points on every evaluative parameter, an astute debater with prodigious persuasive ability, a fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative, a successful elected politician and business person, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and resolve, a fearless fighter for the right cause, and an indefatigable champion of the betrayed, persecuted, downtrodden, the despised, and the ignored. A living example of a true hustler who rose from the hardships of the aftermath of our freedom struggle to the pinnacle of professional, business, and political success. We are nominating a running mate, and I have every intention on my first day in office to sign an executive order in accordance with Article 21E of the Kenyan Constitution. Article 21E of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition Agreement that will provide this Kenyan an expanded role, together with what the Constitution gives the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And having myself occupied that office for the last close to 10 years, I believe that that office can serve the people of Kenya better. We can get more output from the office of the Deputy President if it is not cannibalized or vandalized. And I have every intention on my first day in office to sign an executive order that will give clear responsibilities to the Deputy President. The Deputy President under the Kenya Kwanza arrangement will chair cabinet committees. The Deputy President will oversee the implementation of cabinet decisions. The Deputy President will coordinate intergovernmental relations between the national government and the county government, a function I currently undertake. But I will formalize it in the executive order. Coordinate the learning, our Deputy President will coordinate the learning and supervising, not the planning, sorry, and the supervision of the implementation of development projects funded by development partners and programs under that arrangement. The Deputy President under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance will coordinate constitutional commissions and independent officers in matters that require that intervention of national government, including but not limited to budget and policy frameworks for their operation. And the Deputy President under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance will also perform real duties that will be assigned to him by the President. I say this because it is important that every constitutional office must work for the people of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, that good Kenyan, my friend, whom I have worked with, especially on the economic model that now has famously been referred to the bottom-up economic model. And we started that journey together. He understands people issues. He is passionate about ordinary people. My friend, I present to you the Kenya Kwanza running mate candidate, my brother and friend, Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And straight up, as I present my brother Rigathi Gachagua, I have agreed with him that him and me will work together with the Kenya Kwanza leadership, represented here by the party leaders and other officials, that we will work intentionally to mentor the younger leaders in our formation, and that we will deliberately provide room for those who are young in our formation to grow as leaders. And my deputy and I have agreed that when our time comes to leave, we will leave and we will mentor other people to make sure we have proper transition. Because we believe that part of the success of any leadership is to mentor the younger ones into better leaders as we go into the future. We undertake that we will do that for the people, the leaders in our Kenya Kwanza formation, alongside the other leaders who are here with us. We have also agreed with the Kenya Kwanza leaders seated here that we are committed to ensuring that the issue of gender, which has dogged our country since we started the implementation of the new constitution, that we will take the bull by the horns and ensure that within 1 year of our administration, the issue of gender will be sorted out, and the leadership at all levels will respect the constitutional required threshold. And in our administration, I have agreed with all the leaders here that we will start on day one with our administration, that of the 21 ministers that we will appoint, 10 will be women. And we will ensure that all other appointive positions will respect the 2/3 gender rule as we work on ensuring that even the elective, we have the mechanism to ensure that we mainstream leadership of women, youth, and people living with disability as part of our agenda of not just inclusive economic growth, but also inclusive governance. We believe that there is a wealth of experience and knowledge that can be brought on board by inclusion of all sectors of our society. I want to leave that matter there and request my good friend, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to make his statement. Karibu, Mheshimiwa, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. Today, I'll read a statement. In fact, I have a small speech to our presidential candidate, and indeed, the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. I say it before you and country. I'm honored by the responsibility and faith you have bestowed on me, you have bestowed upon me to be running with for the most defining election in Kenya's history. It is a responsibility I take pride in, knowing too well the elevation and esteem that my nomination occasions, but most importantly, one that also humbles me, that you put your trust in me, together with our colleagues, to deliver. Party leaders present, governors, members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the greatest days of my life. And with humility, I'd like to thank Almighty God for the gift of life, good health, and the favor He has shown me. Many of us in this alliance know that without God, we would not be where we are today. We have seen challenges turn into opportunities before us. Hurdles we did not think we could surmount at the time have disappeared behind us. And I do not the glory. I know there are many in our alliance who are qualified for this position, and any one of them would have been up to the task. Your Excellency, our Deputy President, the trust and confidence you have shown in me is a privilege, and I'll do my very best to live up to those expectations. Thank you, Your Excellency. I will not let you down. I will not let the Hustler Nation down. I will not let the people of Kenya down. In this journey, one needs a mentor like the one you have been to us. One needs colleagues and friends like the ones with me here today and elsewhere. And most importantly, one needs family that provides a pillar that equipped us with the right tools. Indeed, From the grass-thatched house, I stand here today with more than 30 years of public experience. I have been to and worked in every part of Kenya and understand the challenges that face our people in this beautiful country. More importantly, I'm confident that a determined government working with all its citizens can overcome and override the obstacles that hold Kenya back. Today, many Kenyans wake up early and sleep late, but they rarely benefit from the work of their hands or the sweat of their brow. The tools to bridge that gap are lacking. This is the plight of the hustler nation. Today, the ambitions of many Kenyans are frustrated and cut short owing to the criminalization of enterprise. We must free the work environment and enterprises, big or small, from harassment, seizure of goods, and prohibitive fees. I cannot wait to work with you, Your Excellency, on the guaranteed minimum return for our farmers. Tea, milk, coffee, miraa, rice, maize, cotton, cashew nuts, among other horticultural produces. Others must now become the chicken that lay the golden eggs. Your Excellency, under your leadership, I believe we can take this country to the next level. Your story has been an inspiration to hustlers and all of us all over Kenya, and I'm no exception. With the team you have assembled, I believe we have what it takes to realize the dreams of the hustler nation, and it will be a great honor for me to play my part, and that I will. God bless Kenya.
Congratulations, my friend. Okay, Susanna. Thank you very much, Rigathi Gachagua. Let me now begin your first assignment as my running mate, because you will be a very busy person. Your first assignment, my good friend, that we have agreed with the leaders here, is that you and my good brother Moses Kuria, who is an economist by excellence, this good man, will now offer the political leadership to our economic team. I am looking forward to you and the economic team delivering on the agenda that the robust agenda that we have assigned to the economic team. I am looking forward to you providing, because you have walked with me on this journey. You know what we need to do. You have the understanding and the knowledge on what we need to do about access to credit for ordinary citizens. You know what we need to do about universal health coverage. We expect you and the economic team now to provide for us a context of how in 45 days we will have all the economic charters for all the counties, and those counties that have not that we have not finalized, that we will have a program so that we can conclude on our economic charters. So, my good friend Rigathi Gachagua, the team here of party leaders and I expect you to hit the ground running so that Kenya Kwanza can be ready to govern day one when we get into office. So again, by the grace of God, we know that together we will journey as a team and by God's grace get to the destination that we all want. Let me now ask the other leaders who are here to make some statements. I will start with our brother, elder brother, Musalia Mudavadi, to make some comments. Please, my brother.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, and our presidential candidate for the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. At the very outset, let me take this opportunity to congratulate Rigathi Gachagua, who will now deputize William Samoei Ruto in our quest to take over the leadership of this country on the 9th of August, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a momentous day, and indeed yesterday millions of Kenyans were held on tenterhooks. Their nerves were racking, but now we have reached that point where collectively we own a decision, we own a process, and we shall now rally behind the Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate and the entire alliance with Rigathi Gachagua as the running mate. I just want to emphasize that there's an African proverb, and I'm sure some of you have it in your various dialects, which says that one must be very careful so that the pot of water does not break at the doorstep. We have come a long way as a people. William Samoei Ruto and his team have come a long way. Many Kenyans in the Kenya Kwanza Alliance have come a long way. And what is being unveiled here is a culmination of a process of consultations, of deliberations, so that the pot does not break at the doorstep. I think there are so many people, especially on the opposite side, who are praying that we can make a mistake, who are praying that we can have some serious division in the process of reaching where we have reached. But I thank God, and we thank all the people who participated, that your patient resilience has paid off. And if they were waiting for that pot to break, I'm sorry, it has not happened. We intend to move ahead. We intend to win. In any case, we have no option. We have to win. We have to stand for the people of Kenya. And as Rigathi has said, and as the Deputy President has said, there are very serious candidates. He has named them here. At a personal level, I want to also acknowledge them for having participated in this process, for having been put forward. And at the end of the day, we are one team. We shall win. Because what is bigger is that the people of Kenya must be freed from the economic hardships. The cost of living is painful. Only last night, the cost of fuel went up again by 5 shillings and 50 cents a litre. The spiral effect, the multiplier effect of this is extremely painful to a lot of Kenyans. We must deal with the public debt. We must deal with corruption. We are seeing very clearly that some of our international partners, the IMF, the Global Fund, are raising concerns, legitimate concerns, that resources that were allocated to this country to ensure that our people are healthy have been misappropriated, and audits that were promised to be done and culprits be brought to book are still walking large as if nothing has happened. So clearly, as Kenyans, we have a critical task ahead of us. We must pull together. We want the IBC to do its job, and we want Kenyans to also do their job. This is not a moment to say that we are leaving it purely to the leadership. We are in it together as a people, and our opportunity to turn things around, to change things for the better, is on the 9th of August, 2022, with William Samoei Ruto carrying our flag, and we shall all rally behind. God bless Kenya, God bless Kenya Kwanza, and God bless all those individual voters throughout this republic who know what they must do and who will do what they must do. God bless you.
Thank you very much, my brother Musalia Mudavadi. Let me now ask our speaker, who was also in this race, Justin Bidan Muturi.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, and all leaders here present, members of Parliament, and fellow Kenyans. Today, it's obviously, as has been said by the Honorable Gachagua, a momentous day at which we have seen a successful conclusion of an extremely robust and intense consultation that I believe leaves no bitter grapes in anybody's mouth. Everyone satisfied that they had a chance. I want to confirm that as one of those fronted by both my party and other Kenyans, I am satisfied with the results of that process and congratulate my brother Rigathi Gachagua with whom I share some history. He served as a personal assistant to the current president when we, together with the deputy president, when we were doing some other things, but ended in the opposition. But my happiness today is about the democratic nature of the process that has gone into this result. The many hours that many leaders have spent, the messages of encouragement that have come from across the breadth and width of our country have all borne fruit. And I really must thank all those that have participated. And now that that part is over, we must, as we've been told by the Deputy President and our presidential candidate, the Honorable William Ruto, that it's now time for us to roll our sleeves in our various parts and go and ensure that the message of this alliance, the economic revival message, the message of hope that is embodied by this alliance, becomes the clarion call of every Kenyan in every corner of the country. I therefore wish to say that, Your Excellency, we will work with you and the Honorable Gachagua and all these other leaders. It is not in vain that we spent those hours, and that going forward, those of us now, the Honorable Duale is here, knows that we have very few days and we must now go to the villages, comb every hamlet to ensure victory come August 9th, 2022. Thank you very much. God bless Kenya.
Thank you very much. Let me now request the party leader of Ford Kenya, our good brother, Senator Moses Wetangula, to make some remarks.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Deputy President, and now our merited candidate for the leadership of our country. Let me start by congratulating my good friend and brother, Rigathi Gachagua, for being given the role of running mate and now being our presumptive Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya come 9th August this year. In doing so, I want to urge fellow Kenyans, as people of faith, as people of hope, that now we begin the illustrious journey on our last lap to start the reconstruction of our country's economy, the restoration of our people's aspirations and hope, and above all, the restoration of Kenya's position as a team leader in this region. Among the many things that our government of Kenya Kwanza will pay attention to is the role of Kenya as a beacon of hope and peace and the giant of the East African region, the Horn of Africa, and the Great Lakes region. We are a country that has been punching below our weight in this regard, and I want to urge our leader, our incoming president, and all of us here assembled and Kenyans of goodwill, that our future economic growth will, among other things, depend on how we engage our regional trading partners of Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Somalia, DR Congo, Ethiopia, and that many of us who have a historical traction in this regard will put in our role to make sure that it turns into a benefit to our economy. This country has many challenges, but all these challenges will be met by men and women of greater vigor, determination, and focus to ensure that our country and people of our country who have been toiling and moiling in the heat and the cold of our various weather patterns in the country will finally take the benefits of their sweat. From the cane farmer in the west and the coast, the coffee farmer in many parts of the country, the tea farmer, the rice farmer, every farmer in this country is hurting because of the cost of inputs, the inferiority of seeds, and above all, the minimal, if anything, to talk about returns from their sweat. when the president in waiting talks of GMR, guaranteed minimum returns, it automatically puts a smile on the face of every farmer who will now be going into the activities literally in what they call in other jurisdictions contractual farming. And we know it is farming that employs the bulk of our workforce in this country. I want to urge that all of us, from the young hustlers on the streets of every market and town in Kenya, to those in high offices, the clarion call is one, that the pain and suffering Kenyans are going through is not limited to those who are paining. It must touch the hearts of even those who are not in the line of the pain. Because our country, with our huge and ever-growing population, listed by the UNDP as a country with one of the best well-educated human resource, can be able to do a lot better than we do, and this will come from a focused, determined, pro-people administration that will not be focused on grandiose programs and projects, but will be focused on how to lift the ordinary person, the mama mboga in the villages, who every day wakes up with a nightmare on whether their children will have food on the table, whether their children will be in school, and whether the little possessions they have will fall in the hands of the hammer of the auctioneer because of petty borrowing. We are going to put everything in place to make every Kenyan's life worth their while, and we urge all Kenyans that there is no alternative to Kenya Kwanza. Our worthwhile competitors are focused on grandiose of consumption. We are focused on production before consumption. And that is how to grow a country. And growing the country we will. We pray that from Vanga to Kibish, from Lamu to Malaba, every Kenyan on the tip of Mount Kenya and Mount Elgon thinks positively and sees William Samoei Ruto and regard Kashagwa and all of us here assembled as the safest pair of hands to carry our country forward. We have tried the alternative, and we can only sum it up in the words of one writer who called it the lunatic unthinkable. We now must focus on the possibilities of the Kenya people being what they must be. May God bless Kenya. May God bless our captain and his deputy. And may all of us constantly know that we must ask ourselves what we are putting in and not what we are taking out of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Moses Wetangula, famously known as Papa Waroma. Let me ask our sister Anne Mombe Waiguru, who was also a formidable contestant, to make her remarks. Karibu, Anne. Will be followed by my good brother Alfie Mutua, and then my elder brother William Kabogo.
Thank you, Your Excellency. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking the Almighty God for bringing us thus far. It was a very hectic couple of days, and in those days, I'm sure everybody knows it wasn't easy. We thank very much our party leader for his patience, his endurance in leading us in this process, I want to thank the people of Kenya and our coalition for giving me the opportunity to be considered. I consider it a very great honor. As you have heard, I missed it by a whisker. And I am very confident in the choice that we have made. I want to start by passing my personal congratulatory message to our running mate, Rigathi Gachagua. I want to let you know that you have my over 150% support. I will stand with you. I will support you, and together with the party leader and the Kenya Kwanza coalition, work on mobilizing not just Mount Kenya, but the rest of the country to make sure that we bring the presidency home. That is the most important thing. We also have to thank this team for having given us certain considerations. I will not speak for long because I know the sun is hot. One of the key considerations that we have gotten, despite not getting the woman as a running mate, we have secured 50% of cabinet to be women. And that is a big, big plus. And we thank you, Your Excellency, for that consideration. We have also secured very many things. There have been very many agreements that have been discussed here. The GMR is key. But I also want to mention about the economic model that we have, bottom up, the increase of resources to the counties to ensure that development is pared from the bottom, and also the allocation of the 1 man, 1 shilling. And we thank you, Your Excellency, and the team, Kenya Kwanza. We want you to know that you have our support. We will stand with this team completely. We will campaign like our lives depend on it, and we will make sure that you end up as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Asanteni sana.
The party leader of Maendeleo, Chap Chap, and he has told us this morning it is Maendeleo, Chap Chap na wanawake. So it's also Maendeleo na wanawake the same.
And that is why I'm so happy about the inclusion of women in government, because our mothers hold this country together. Our women are the most hardworking people in this country, and they do very well. I've been very outspoken about the right and positions given to our loved ones, our mothers and our sisters and our daughters. Mimi yangu nitaichapa chap chap. Your Excellency, our party leader and the next incoming President of the Republic of Kenya, our future Deputy President, Rigathi, and I want to recognize also the spouses, Madam Ruto, Her Excellency, Madam Gachagua, and congratulations. I first saw or heard Gachagua at the funeral of my fellow governor, his brother. And I asked the person sitting to me, who is that man? He was the master of ceremony. Because I found him to be very articulate and very, very smart and very, very sharp. So we're getting somebody here who I actually noticed even before I knew who you are. So congratulations. My points are 5. 1, I'm very happy to be in Kenya Kwanza. Now I can breathe. I can breathe. Kunilikuwa nazimia. Here there's a spirit of democracy, a spirit of consultation. Last night I enjoyed the marathon of 17 hours because it was down my alley, discussing development, discussing how to change Kenya for Kenyans, not just for a few. Number 2, Kenya has for a long time been a country of a few billionaires and millions who are poor. Umaskini umekuwa ni kama wimbo. We want to be able to change our country. Our youth do not need, handouts. Our youth need hands up. They need to be given opportunities to thrive. Hawataki pesa ya bure, wanataka kufanya kazi. Opportunities to thrive. And so I'm very, very happy about being in this team. And quickly, number 3, you know, leadership is about development. It's about how we are going to transform people. And I'm so happy that my views, the views of my party Maendeleo Chapchap, have been incorporated in Kenya Kwanza. Because here we work together. Kule kwingine tulikuwa tunasoma habari kwa magazeti, tunajua what is happening. Here we are being involved. And I want to tell my people, and especially the young of this country, we are looking at industrialization. We want to have factories everywhere so that our youth can get jobs. We want to be able to give you opportunities. We want to be able to, our women who have become donkeys carrying water on their backs in our country, want to transform our country, have taps. The tap that should be farthest from a house in this country should not be more than 200 meters. So we want to push that water in the household, change our lives. Our roads, I know people of Ukambani are looking at me thinking, what are you talking about? We're talking about Emali Ukia Road, the roads in Didini, Mwala Kangundo roads, connecting South Kitui with places like Malindi, some of those things that need to be done so that we can be able to improve the economy. And he forgot to tell you that even though we're getting 10%, our 10 ministers will be women, but in that arrangement, we'll have young people in government. We want young people in government. Haitakuwa nyumba ya wazee, itakuwa nyumba ya vijana na wazee. The wisdom of the older people and the energy of the youth, and continuing. And we want more money in the pocket. And lastly, let us work together as leaders. Me, I want to work with everybody here, and let us hold hands together. Our target is one, defeating the other team and getting to State House and running this country properly. After all these 60 years, it's time Kenyans enjoy freedom na enjoy kupata uhuru. Number 5, lastly, mavijana, mazeni tukaeni rada. Maisha na haso yako itakuwa vichapchap na Ruto. Tusare stories za kuzimia, tujipange na Kenya Kwanza na Man Ruto. Thank you and God bless you.
Tumemwambia Alfi Mbogi iko chonjo kabisa. So 2 things. Let me there is something I missed in my statement. Sorry, I think in the process of I missed out the name of Governor Haemba from Trans Nzoia, who will be part of the leadership in the Rift Valley region, and both Rift Valley and Western, and also our friend Onesmus Kimani Ngujiri, who is our chairman of many things and many groups. Ndio mzee chairman wa Amani, chairman wa PG, chairman wa many things, and that he will also provide overall leadership in the Rift Valley alongside the other leaders that I announced. Maybe let me just before I ask my brother William namesake to make his statement. My good friend Alfred Mutua has said something, but let me also, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and the Honorable Moses Wetangula have a function, one in Eldoret and another one in Bungoma. So they have asked to leave, and I think our 2 brothers, I think we can allow you to leave so that you can catch up with the other functions on the other end as we conclude this exercise. Tuwapige makofi. Asante sana. But let me also let me say something about what Alfred Mutua has said. Alfred Mutua has said there is a world of a difference between Kenya Kwanza and the other side, which is true. Kenya Kwanza is a coalition of Democrats, the free and the willing. The other side is the complete opposite. And in Kenya Kwanza, we have signed our agreements openly, in daylight, and all partners have have contributed to the content of the agreements that we have signed. The other side, people are forced to sign agreements blindfolded with lights switched off. And that is why nobody is allowed to have a copy of the agreements on the other side. Fortunately for us, our agreements are available. That's why they are all over in social media and other places, because we are transparent, honest people. Some of our competitors have tried to use our agreements to try and sanitize the BBI project. We want to tell them there is a world of a difference between what we have done and the BBI shenanigans. Let me say this for the record, that the agreement you see has clearly demonstrated that you can reorganize government without spending 20 billion to change the constitution. By a stroke of a pen, we have shown the people of Kenya that BBI was actually a fraudulent engagement. It was not about the people of Kenya, it was about a few leaders. We have demonstrated that it is possible to organize government the way you want without spending 20, 30 billion to change the constitution. And therefore, there is a world of a difference, our friends. There is a world of a difference between your BBI and our agreements. Let me also tell our competitors, we have committed that we will reorganize our equitable allocation of resources to take care of population and other considerations. And we will do it again without necessarily spending billions to change the constitution. Because we are creative, we are innovative, and we are considerate. The 20, 30 billion shillings that we would spend on constitutional amendments to accommodate those things, we will use it to set up the Hustler Fund and be able to get millions of Kenyans languishing today, blacklisted in CRBs. We will be able to give them access to credit that they can afford. So I just wanted to say that for the record now that Alfred Mutua said something about the Kuzimia people. Let me request my brother William Kabogo Gitau to make his remarks.
Nashukuru Naibu wa Rais, itifaki zote zikiheshimika. Kwanza nichukue fursa hii nimpe hongera Mheshimiwa Gachagua kwa kuteuliwa kuwa mgombeaji wa kiti ya Naibu wa Rais akiwepo hapa siku ya leo. Pia nikushukuru kwa sababu kazi hii wewe ndio mwenyewe. Ulikuwa ni wewe useme tu ni huyu mimi nitakimbia naye. Lakini kwa sababu ya mawiano na kuweza kuzungumza na sisi ambao tumeungana katika Kenya Kwanza na wabunge wote wa Mlima Kenya, ulifungua nafasi hiyo, japokuwa jana jioni niliona ni kama ulikuwa unajuta ni kwa nini ulifungua. Lakini all is well that ends well. Mimi nitaungana na wewe, kusaidiana na wewe na Mheshimiwa Gachagua ili kuweza kufanya campaign mrengo huu wa Kenya Kwanza uweze kupata ushindi mwezi wa 8. Leo sio siku ya maneno, kitu ningemuuliza tu chap pia angeweza kusema kwa mavijana tujibebe sisi wenyewe Kenya Kwanza pamoja na tutaunda serikali, kwa sababu tukijibeba ni sawa, tukikosa.
William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua is the one who will be the running mate for Kenya Kwanza coalition ahead of the August 9th general election. This as Deputy President William Ruto tells of critics of Kenya Kwanza mode of leadership if it gets to power, saying that their arrangement of leadership positions is not in line with the Building Bridges initiative. And he has also mentioned the names of those candidates who made it to the final list in the running mate race. And these are Kiharu, Member of Parliament, Ndindi Nyoro, Kandara, Member of Parliament, Alice Wahome, and Justin Muturi, the Speaker at the National Assembly, and Governor Waiguru, who is the governor for Kirinyaga, also Tharaka-Nithi Senator Kithure Kindiki. Now we have John Jacob Kuria on the ground. We'll be giving you details as events unfold back on the ground. But to other news making headlines this afternoon, the Elections Observation Group, ELOG, has called upon Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, to come up with regulations, campaigns, funding, and subject them to public participation before their gazettement. The group has expressed fears of distortion of the fundamental principles of democracy through the illicit use of money. They urged voters to desist from getting bribes to influence who they vote for.
So we would like
to... Gazettement of spending limits in October last year after Parliament declined to pass them since they had not been tabled within the prescribed time limit has meant that for the third successive time, this country will conduct its elections without oversight on campaign funding and spending. A judicial pronouncement by the High Court on this matter, following a case filed by some of our members here, stressed the need for IEBC to come up with a regulatory framework. The unregulated use of money in the forthcoming elections in Kenya is likely to promote electoral malpractices like voter bribery, encourage the use of illicit money, and distort the fundamental principles of democracy.
Nice or acknowledge the fact that potentially this election may have not less than 40% of people facing one court case or another, wash, money laundering, etc. I think it's about time that this is revisited, and out of the recognition that in one of the reasons why the Kenyan Constitution has been hailed as both transformative and progressive was the fact that it entrenched Chapter 6 and as well as on ethics and integrity.
So we are also insisting that it is possible for candidates to be morally and ethically unfit, but at the same time they have no criminal records. Yeah, I just want to emphasize that as well.
Confidence in IEBC or not, for us it's about IEBC doing what it's supposed to do. And that's why we keep reminding, that's why we're observing where we find there's a problem in how they are managing aspects like the issue that we just talked about in terms of regulations. Then we appeal to them to be able to make those changes. So we are watching what they are doing, where there are difficulties, where there are challenges, but because they are the constitutionally mandated organization to be able to manage our electoral affairs, then they have to do it. They have
Security Committee led by Narok County Commissioner Isaac Masinde has cancelled 2 parallel meetings that were slated for this Monday at William Ole Ntimama Stadium. The development follows last evening's skirmishes between 2 rival groups, one supporting Narok North Member of Parliament Muitalel Olekenta and the other former Labour CAS Patrick Ole Ntutu at Narok Town, that left 2 people with serious injuries.
Narok Governor Samuel Ole Tunai was to have his senatorial bid launched tomorrow 16th at William Ole Ntimama Stadium, and Deputy President William Ruto was expected to be the guest. Likewise, Narok North MP Muitalel Olekenta had organized a political rally at the same venue where Azimio leaders were expected to attend. But last night's incident in which two rival groups clashed, leaving several injured, has jolted the Narok County security team into action. The team led by Narok County Commissioner Isaac Masinde has cancelled those two meetings. According to Masinde, who addressed the media last night after the clash, said new directive aims at averting further tension in the area.
Tumeona kwamba wote wawili tension yenye iko within Narok town imekuwa juu sana, na tunaona kwamba hiyo mikutano yote mbili ikikubalika iendelee, we are likely to have tunaona kwamba tunaweza kuwa na ufunjaji wa sharia.
The administrator further urged the two parties to reschedule their meetings to different days.
That both candidates should come up with new dates of their own choice on when they want to hold their meetings, but the dates should not coincide.
He directed the Narok OCS to make sure the stadium remain closed.
Tumekubaliana kwamba hii sehemu ya Narok Stadium, Olentimama Stadium, kuanzia kesho asubuhi saa 12, it will be guarded by the police so that hakuna mtu atakubaliwa kuingia kwa hiyo stadium kuanzia kesho.
In the meantime, Masinde banned all political rallies in schools and their environment. Pauline Nasimiu, Lunchtime News.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries will spend 50 million shillings in the 2022-2023 financial year to modernize coffee factories in 3 coffee-growing sub-counties of Nyeri County. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya said that the revamp was part of the ongoing coffee subsector reforms that aims at increasing production. Edwin Austin with the details on this.
Speaking when he toured Wamagana Fish Processing Plant in Tetu, Nyeri County, Munya said only few factories will benefit from the first phase of the renovations, but the ministry intends to scale up the project to include all coffee factories. Munya revealed that the government had spent 1.4 billion shillings on different agriculture projects within Nyeri County for the last 5 years.
Hii National Value Support Program ni ile unapata fertilizer ya gharama ya chini kwa simu, ikitumia ile inaitwa e-voucher. Una access fertilizer, unanunua, agro dealers wako trained, unanunua kwa bei ya chini, serikali inakulipia ile ingine.
Nataka ikuwe on visibility.
Meanwhile, boda riders in Kajiado County have benefited from sensitization and upskilling training on road safety as well as safety riding gear. The training was sponsored by Inc. Cape Kenya, the National Transport and Safety Authority, and the Private Bikers Association of Kenya. The road safety campaign comes in the wake of a rise in the number of road accidents related to motorcyclists.
Our CSR today was pretty much being able to educate the riders, tell them the importance about, how it is that you need to ride, safety gear, and things that are taken for granted as they go about their, daily business with the bikes.
Elsewhere, Suna West Member of Parliament Peter Masara has pleaded with his constituents to pardon him for any wrongdoing during his first term. Speaking at his homecoming ceremony where he brought home his ODM nomination certificate, Masara urged the residents to look at the bigger future of Suna West, which he says has triumphed under his watch.
If we elect ODM MCAs, it means we have created an opportunity for nomination. It does not mean that other people are not good, but we have never gotten an opportunity like this one to be in the State House of the Republic of Kenya.
Finally, a US-based company dealing with dietary supplements and beauty products, Marks International, on Saturday launched its entry into the Kenyan market. The company products focus on helping body cells produce glutathione or support its functions.
Now, if you don't have your health, what do you have? Nobody ever thinks about anything if you're sick, right? So it's so important, and especially when we're thinking about the times that we're in. The world has just come through a very, very tough health crisis. So it is critical, and Max International has taken this upon ourselves to bring the very best technology to Kenya.
This is the company's first entry into the East African market.
The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African market. The company's first entry into the East African mar
A Catholic nun has constructed a home at Kaonyweni in Kithioko, Machakos County, to care for the needy persons whose relatives cannot be traced. According to Sister Mary Musembi, the founder of Mercy Servants of the Poor Foundation, the facility caters for people who are either abandoned by their loved ones in hospitals or are involved in road accidents, among others.
Sister Mary Musembi attended her formation studies in Spain as a close-heart nun and came back to the country after serving as a sister in Spain for 17 years.
Every time I visited our country, I was really disturbed to see how people are suffering. Then I came back. I asked for mission from Rome. I came back and started now doing the outreach program.
After jetting back, the nun saw the miseries and challenges the homeless persons were going through. It is here that the philanthropic nun mind lingered on how to help them, and Mercy of Servants Poor Foundation was born.
With the little I could get from people, the little I could get from well-wishers, then from there, now I struggled and we started this facility. I was inspired by the suffering humanity and the love that us as Christians we should have for others.
So far, her facility is housing over 20 persons with mental malfunctions whose relatives could not be traced. The oldest person in the facility is 95 years, while the youngest is 3 years.
The challenges that I'm facing, they actually undermine my future vision. I would love to have a big house where we can accommodate even more than 500 people.
Redemptor Mutinda, a volunteer clinical officer in the facility who works at Matu Level 4 Hospital, says that most of the people in the facility suffer from cerebral palsy.
And those people, those babies, they are prone to things like recurrent pneumonia. So most of the time, those are the things I come to address. Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, the home received goodies from well-wishers.
Mimi niliokotwa katika tanki. Mimi nilipoingia hapa kwa sita, yeye alilea mimi nikawa mtu yuko na nguvu, nilikuwa mimi siwezi kujihadhari.
Millicent Award, the chair of St. Vincent de Paul, equated Sister Musembi's efforts to those of Mother Teresa due to her love for the needy in the society, calling on the well-wishers to come to the aid of the nun in order to help her take care of the very needy cases in the facility.
I call upon any well-wisher who would want to assist a needy person to reach out to Sister Musembi. This home does not have any power. I remember the first time we came, they didn't even have solar. We bought the solar, had it installed.
Ruth Wamboy for Lunchtime News.
It's a busy political day, but let's get to the fields. The Kenya Olympians Association on Saturday night held a gala dinner to celebrate and recognize sportsmen who have represented Kenya in many Olympic disciplines over several decades since the 1956. The dinner was sponsored by the World Olympians Association.
Established in 2002 as the Olympians Association of Kenya to keep former Olympic athletes engaged, the body became inactive and was rebranded as the Kenya Olympians Association. The association received recognition from the World Olympians body and is pursuing registration with the government to get formal recognition locally. On Saturday night, they held a gala dinner where they awarded past Olympians with a WA certificate, and those recognized can use the initials OLY after their name. The president of the Kenyan Olympian Association, Moses Tanui, who represented the country at the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul and the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona, said that better days lie ahead for Kenya.
Cleaning the streets, helping the needy children, trying also to see that our Olympians knows their rights.
The chief guest at the dinner, Japanese ambassador to Kenya, His Excellency Okaniwa Ken, shared lessons from his country's Olympians Association.
They are very active after they are finished with the active in sports. Some are in coaching and some are in sort of the TV broadcasting sports events.
Celebrated Kenyan athlete Kipchoge Keino made a call for more sports to have representation at the Olympics.
Take, for example, facilities like swimming. Do we have in our school? Basketball, tennis, golf, rugby, volleyball. Those are the events we need to develop in our school.
Among athletes recognized at the event were marathon great Catherine Dereva, 5-time world cross-country champion John Goge, pioneering women Olympians Lydia Stevens and Tekla Sang, Professor Mike Boyd, weightlifter Suleiman Juma, and sprinter Ferdinand Omanyala. For lunchtime news, I am Daniel Wahome.
Liverpool remain in the hunt for a historic quadruple after winning the FA Cup following another Wembley penalty shootout against Chelsea last night.
Liverpool won the FA Cup at Wembley after beating Chelsea last night. Jurgen Klopp's side repeated their Carabao Cup final victory in February, the decisive moment coming when Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson saved Mason Mount's spot kick, leaving Kostas Tsimikas to secure Liverpool's second trophy of the season. The Reds are still in the Premier League title race and have the Champions League final to come against Real Madrid. Liverpool had the better of an eventful final, with the outstanding Luis Diaz and Andrew Robertson hitting the woodwork, although it may come at a price, with Mohamed Salah going off injured in the first half and Virgil van Dijk going off after 90 minutes.
And it's a wrap on Channel 1 lunchtime news. This as Kenya Kwanza has named Rigathi Gachagua as the running mate for the coalition's flag bearer William Ruto in the August 9th general election. At the same time, the Azimio la Umoja has postponed its unveiling of Raila Odinga's running mate to tomorrow, 16th May 2022. This as IEBC sets Monday as the deadline for the parties to name their running mates. My name is Irene Mchuma Udim. On Sign Language Interpretations, we have Caroline Njoroge. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for your time. Be sure to catch up with my colleagues at prime time, 7 and 9 p.m. for more details, making headlines not only locally but also across the borders. Good afternoon.
To get John chapter 11 as your skiza tune, dial star 811 star 965 hash.
I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. John chapter 11, verse 25.
To get John chapter 11, dial star 811 star 965 hash. To get John chapter 11, dial star 811 star 965 hash.
Aha, msikilizaji wa Radio Taifa, karibu tena kwenye kipindi kinajulikana kama Rada ni Yesu. Kila Jumapili kinaletwa kwako na rubani unayempenda anajulikana kama Mr. Rafton Igi. Ungana nami kila Jumapili kuanzia mida ya saa 12 mpaka saa 1 usiku. Kuna muziki noma sampulia hii.
Najua nitaona mazuri.
Mwambia mpenzi msikilizaji, ni kunamna ni kukaskush. Kila Jumapili ninakuletea miziki za mavijana. Kama wewe ni kijana na unataka injili kamili, utaipata hapa. Tuonane Jumapili hii.
Sauti ya Mkenya.
It's always a party with DJ Leo on the ones and twos.
Ujanita naitika, napenda unavyokatika, ukishika na mwagika, bomboka kwenye 6x6, speaker inavyokita, naridhika, bomboka baby mwenzako moyo wangu wa kike napenda na mangania, yani mwenzako I like the way unavyonipatia, napenda unavyokatika, ukishika na mwagika, bomboka kwenye 6x6, speaker inavyokita, naridhika, bomboka
Nasikia unataka mpino wa mtoto wa mtani, zidisha kidogo ni kweke ndani, unanipa sita ya nyuma kusukani, napigilia nyavne kaba mpani, pombe haramu haizali kwenye kitanda, sindio? Unamsampanda ila unachanda, sindio? Minavopiga dekibo unailamba, sindio? Sasa nionyeshe ujuzi wako ukiucheza mnanda, jifanye mtoto mjina kone toys, atufoso wenzako nataka kuchill na big boys.